Hi, welcome to Best Friends. Oh, this is our slow time of year, and aren't we delighted to be able to say that to you? It doesn't mean that everything around us is slowing down. It just means the number of animals coming in the shelter is temporarily slowed. And whatever powers that be, thank you for that. It gives us a little time to get other things done. March is one of those blah months. You don't have any really great holidays, and the weather is really kind of iffy. It's certainly not warm enough to be great, and it spends a lot of time being really cold. It's a transition month. It's also the month that we go to the dreaded daylight savings time. Ugh, wow, do I ever wish that would just disappear. The animals are affected by that too. Probably because we are. They really don't care what a clock says, but they care about grumpy people. So do we. So this is March, and we're going to make a determined effort to be happy and upbeat. We'll start with a great cat named Violet, who is currently living in my office. So I know her well. I can tell you that if you have small birds, this is probably a cat you don't want, but anything else, she gets along with pretty well. I have just been informed that I did miss St. Patrick's Day, and I don't count that as a holiday. It may be a remarkable day, but it's not a day that we get to close, so it's not a holiday technically. This, however, is Violet O'Hara, who is pointing out to you that the wearing of the green is something that everyone should appreciate. Violet is a slightly chunky, very short-haired silver tabby, and she is the proud possessor of a coat that is beyond wonderful. It's just velvety. It is creamy and wonderful to touch. And so she makes sure that I have the opportunity to do that very frequently by posting herself immediately in front of my computer monitor and also inserting herself between my hands and my keyboard. It's a great solution to the cat that really wants more contact. Right? Yes. Violet is probably around 6 years old. She is already spayed. She could go home. She is a very prissy litter pan user. She's very good at that. Although I can tell you that you do need a litter pan that doesn't allow litter to leave, because she's kind of exuberant in her scratching. Anyway, great kitty, would be a terrific indoor cat for just about any family. This is my favorite cat in the whole shelter. I named her Twinkie. She's shaped and colored a little bit like one, and she probably has eaten a number of them. She does, I know, like donuts. I haven't really tried a Twinkie. Haven't come within touching distance of one for a number of years now. But she is an absolutely wonderful cat. She is also around 7 years old. She is remarkable in that she looks very much like she swallowed a bowling ball. But she's also remarkable because of her personality. Often calicos are extremely opinionated, and Twinkie is, but she's a very positive cat. She has a very positive attitude. She loves people. She likes children. She will get along with other cats as long as her food dish isn't compromised. And she is just a very easy cat to live with. I love this girl. The only reason that she isn't in my office is that she also would really like to eat the 5 finches that are also in my office. That was kind of a deal breaker. And so she had to move out into the adoption area where she has a double condo. Since we're going to be opening our PetSmart adoption area again this month, Twinkie probably will move up there where the caging is even more spacious than what we can offer here. But if you want to visit Twinkie, we would love to have you. And she's right here in adoption and is entertaining visitors at this time. Stand up and show them your beautiful figure. No. I think that was a solid no. This is a kitty that was brought to us by its owner, and we have a great deal of information about him. He is, as you can see, a short-haired tuxedo who likes catnip. Aren't we glad? He is a little on the shy side. He does have a flea allergy. However, knowing that your pet has a flea allergy is literally half the battle, because then you can make sure that they receive flea treatment every month, and that way you don't have any flea bites. As soon as the flea does bite, then the allergy is set off, and that's what's responsible for the hair loss. Not so much of a problem with this guy. Oh, he really is interested in the rats that are at the other end of the counter here. Well, he is a cat after all. Already neutered and ready to go home. Handsome boy. Yeah. This is a young unneutered male, shortly to be neutered. Hey, if you want a mouser at your house, this is a great cat. He also loves catnip. A minute ago, he had his old head stuck in our catnip jar. But he's a young guy. Oh, I'd say probably a year old or so. And has clearly demonstrated that he'd be a terrific rodent killing cat. He has a lot of prey drive, and I think he's going to be very easy care. He's a very confident cat, and I think would fit in very comfortably in a family with young children, or any family. He's just a sweetie. And this behavior that you're seeing is very typical of cats and catnip. He just really gets off on this stuff. Yes, we love that. Yes, we do. Enjoy. You're going to fall off. Yes, you are. He came to us with lots of ear mites, and this has just been a bad year for that. And fleas, and as those were being eradicated, he was a very happy guy. Life has changed significantly. I can't even imagine what it must feel like for something that has hearing as acute as a cat does, to have those little varmints scratching around on your eardrum. This one really looks like a little ragamuffin at having a very bad hair day. She is a very playful, loving cat. The funny thing about it is she does nip. She does not break skin. She's just kind of a mouthy cat, so probably wouldn't recommend her for a family with very young children, unless the children typically chew on the cat. I don't know. Anyway, she did have some mats removed, which does give her the look of having had an encounter with a really hungry moth, but she's not destined to stay that way. She will eventually have a lovely coat, but right now she's a little coat challenged here. She is one of those cats that is going to be a kitten all her life. She's very playful. Just a sweetheart. And we will end with one that is pretty middle of the road. Tuxedo, short hair, average weight, but wonderful. So we may have middle of the road part way, but then we've got off the charts in the last part of personality assessment. She is just a sweet, sweet cat. And she is beautiful. Also very interested in the rats. So, possibly a good rodent hunter. She does have another interesting characteristic, which is a notch in one ear. Typically in feral programs where they're spaying or neutering, they will notch an ear because there's a greater visibility. I don't think that's what was going on here. In the first place, this is not a cat that I would consider by any stretch to be feral. And secondly, the notch is not quite the same sort of notching. This one is just more of a slight slit that looks more like it was an injury or something as a kitten. That's it for the cats today. Remember that the show is a picture in time, and our animals change constantly. By the end of today, half of these animals may be adopted and we'll have new ones in. So things never change, stay the same. That's just one of the things that we count on here. Stay with us because we're going to go to the dog area right now and look at all of the adorable small dogs that we've got right now. This is a long-haired dachshund, purebred, we think, that we call Red for obvious reasons. He came to us with an ear that was pretty badly scarred and a gash on his leg that was open. And we've had him for quite a while because the gash had to be doctored and stitched and healed. And this is the first day that he's not had to wear an Elizabethan collar in quite a while. He is just adorable. He is a sweetie and is going to make a terrific pet for a family or for a single person. He's just a great little guy. He's very accommodating as dachshunds go. You know, there are families that do really well with dachshunds because they have the right expectations of them, and then there are families that don't. They can be very, very opinionated, stubborn little dogs, but at the same time, they're very rewarding, very affectionate, very squirmy. Squirmy dogs, yes. Lots of body there to squirm with. But just a lovely little guy. These are guys that you don't necessarily want jumping off of furniture and things like that. They jump up real well, but when they jump down, they do have the capability of hurting that long, long back. And so to avoid back injuries, that's a good idea. And of course, stairs. Going upstairs isn't a big problem for these little long low riders, but coming down can be if it's a real repetitive kind of thing. I have corgis and stairs at my house, so I know. It shouldn't be enough to prevent you from getting one, but it is something to watch out for. This is a Basset, we're thinking wire-hair Dachshund mix. Her name is Spice. Later you will meet her sister, Sugar. These two are 8 years old. They seem to have some unresolved dominance things going on between them, and so we're not suggesting that they be placed together. In fact, what we are recommending is that they may not even go into a home that has another female dog, because we're not comfortable that some of that isn't gender aggression and that it isn't just specifically with the other sibling. However, beyond that, awesome dog. Great in a family that does not have another female dog or cats. Definitely Spice will go after cats. Maybe she wouldn't do anything when she caught up with a cat, but we don't know that. And so we just really don't want to take that chance. Secure confinement required, or she'll be out visiting the neighbors. And that's not always a good thing, even if her intentions are good. So definitely visiting the neighbors' cats would not be a good idea. But an adorable dog, probably a terrific jogging companion if you don't jog like long distances. Very responsive, very loving. Just a great girl. Yeah. Here's another small dog. Imagine all of that. This is a rat terrier. She's somewhere between 3 and 5 years old. No, you're staying up here with me. And she has all of the good and bad things that go with being a rat terrier. She is very bouncy and energetic, and depending on who you are, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. She has to have secure confinement. She will be a house dog, but when she goes outside, you need to know exactly where she is. She will chase cats. She is a ratter, which is what rat terrier meant originally. They will chase anything that's moving, and so being a terrier, there is that. She may learn to get along with cats. We haven't tested her specifically with cats, but often this breed is not terrific with them. She is probably very willing to be trained, would enjoy training, loves to have a job, and if you leave lots of toys for her, they are going to work pretty well. She may not play ball with you, but she will love chew toys. Right? Yes, that would be good. And we did, we've already had her spayed, and so she would be ready to go home right away. This is Remington. Remington is a chocolate lab, purebred. He's coughing because I have the leash kind of choked up here. He's also extremely physical, very active dog. And although that's what you would want in a lab, it's a little hard for filming if he's going to go everywhere else than where I need him to be. He is still intact. He would be neutered at the point of adoption. He is a wonderful dog. The volunteers love him. He's great on the trail, and he is just everything you would want in a lab. Terrific appetite, terrific energy levels, beautiful coat, bouncy, happy, tolerant, just a really, really nice dog. So if anybody is looking for a lab, particularly a really pretty chocolate lab, Remington is here, and he needs a home. Don't ya? Yeah. Do you remember Spice, the Basset Dachshund mix that we saw earlier? Well, this is her sibling, Sugar. Sugar is smaller, definitely a lap dog, and just a wonderful little girl. And again, there are either some unresolved dominance things between those two female dogs, or it could be that there is just gender aggression going on here. We see that in a number of different breeds, and truly I think it could be more troublesome in the females than in the males. The males tend to get more serious about it, I guess, but the females can be pretty damaging and upsetting to their human counterparts too. So anyway, this little girl is about 8. The frosting on her face is more or less natural coloration. It isn't just that she's going gray, although this type of dog does tend to do that. The wire-haired dachshund in her gives her that wonderful little waif look. I think these are just two wonderful dogs. So you would want secure confinement. This is a house dog anyway, so that's not that hard to do. And you would definitely want no cats in the home and no other female dogs. I'm not sure, but what Sugar here could get along with a cat. It's just that you would want to be very careful and not leave them unsupervised. An adorable dog, and already spayed, so she would be able to go home right away. Okay, now all of you who say you want a little dog or two, we have little dapple doxies. Yes, these are little females. This one is, well, she's 8.5 years old, which is nothing for a small dog. So don't let the age be a problem for you. We just had dentals done for them, which is the biggest problem with little dogs because their teeth get icky. I think because they eat table food pretty frequently and probably more treats. But these guys have had their teeth taken care of. Of course, that is something you have to consider throughout their lives, but no big deal. And, yes, I know. From the owner, and these were owner-released dogs, we're told that they get along well with children, that they're housebroken, which is often a big stumbling block with dachshunds. But when they do housebreak, they housebreak well. And yes, they're very, very cute, yes. And they are just, I mean, you can't look at this dog without grinning. I mean, you just can't, because she's cute as a little button. Who could resist this face? Oh my goodness. Anyway, a terrific opportunity for adopting this little dog. She can go with her sister or she could go alone. I don't think either way would be a great burden for her, as long as she had lots of attention. That's what she cares about. Definitely, they are family dogs. They have to have a lot of human contact, but they sure reward that family beautifully. This is Patches. The other one that you saw, the other dapple doxy, was Pepper. I think their names really should have been reversed. This one looks a lot more peppery than Patchy. But another little 8.5-year-old dachshund, miniature. And as I said, for this pair, we've already had the dentals done. Thank you to South Bay Vet. And we had, they are already spayed and ready to go. And again, secure confinement, but these are house dogs and they are housebroken, so you would expect them to be indoor dogs. Their coat will not sustain being an outdoor dog at all. In fact, they're shivering even out here. Of course, I'm shivering too, so what can I say? I'm definitely a house variety myself. So they say that these girls get along well with children. I'm not sure that, because this one is a little bit on the mouthy side, and I think that if there were food involved, she wouldn't necessarily be snappy, but she would be eager to get the food. So if you have children, probably somebody that's 7 or 8 would be a very good choice. With this one younger than that, she might be a little rough taking treats. And I don't know about your household, but in mine, the really little kids tend to share their treats with the dogs all the time. And so you want a dog that has a fairly soft mouth. Anyway, a wonderful adoption opportunity here. Beautiful little dog, and because with small dogs, the lifespan is much, much longer than you would expect out of a lab or even a corgi. 8 is not a scary number for these guys. Cute as a little butt, very snuggle and warm. Yes, it's a warm dog. This is the last dog that we have to show you today. Remember, things change here at the shelter practically on an hourly basis. So make sure that you license so your pets stay home, because if we know who the dog belongs to, then finding home is easy. But if they're not wearing any identification, we have a pretty tough time. So unless you are looking for your dog here at the shelter, it could become an adoption dog too, and wouldn't that be terrible? If you have lost a pet, and for some reason, well, I know the reason, but I'm seeing lost posters all over the city, not for the same dogs either. So please make sure that your pet is wearing identification, because you can bet that it will bolt out the door at the worst possible time for you to go get it. It's just the way dogs work, and cats. The shelter should be your very first stop if you have lost a pet. That way, if you can leave us a lost report, we can help you look. But better than that, keep identification on your pet, a license if possible, and that way we can get it home to you, because that's what we do. Come see us. We're at 3120 Martin Way. Our hours are 9:30 to 5:30, Tuesday through Friday, and 9:30 to 4 o'clock on Saturdays. We do stop our adoptions a half hour before we close. We'd love to see you.